Welcome back, Troglodytes, to your daily dose of guitar information, the Trogly's Guitar Show. We've got quarantined new guitar day buying. We're gonna unbox 4 brand new guitars today, just for fun, because while you guys are all cooped up at home, why not live vicariously? I have 8 new guitars here, but we're only opening 4 today, so this is gonna be a complete surprise, but I tried to pick the higher end feeling ones for this one. So starting off here is a purchase from Musician's Friend. You know it's high-end if they have this foam stuff on top, otherwise they just use that like bubble wrap and stuff. But it's a double box situation here, maybe even triple box, who knows? I thought I was grabbing all the high-end ones, but I guess I was wrong. This one's Epiphone. That's okay, some of these new Epiphones are actually pretty cool. Wow! This is the first time they've sent me double foam. I think in this room I need some sort of acoustic treatment because that's why the sound is so different in this room as compared to the ones out there. So maybe if I just hang these things up on the wall, it would help. Let's go ahead and see what is inside this Epiphone box. Is it the one I'm actually looking for? Because there's one that I accidentally got the wrong color that we have to send back to get the one I wanted. Wow, I got super lucky. It is that one. Okay, so this is the Les Paul Modern. Wow, they really did a fantastic job packing this thing up. Oh, cool. I think this is the first Epiphone that I've had that has the natural back. So I actually reviewed the full Gibson iteration of this guitar. So just seeing this in this format, it's really strange because I enjoy the new Epiphone headstock. It looks a little bit better in my opinion. But now we have this version. That's cool to see on an Epiphone. It almost appears to be slightly different. Like I remember the Gibson version, it just like cut down and then there was a slight swoop. This one almost seems to curve a little bit more. I would say that looks a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, but that area looks a little bit goofy now because it's a 3-piece body and you can see that join line, so it just makes the wood look like it's a little bit wonky. But check out this back. Wow, that's nice. Maybe I will just review this one anyways and grab the black one as well. Look at that! Locking tuners too! This is a really high-end Epiphone that has a bunch of really nice features here. I mean, look at that flamed figure in here. Nice! I think I'll end up keeping this one anyways. Oh, nice! This is the first time I'm seeing the top. It's got the same color as that Pelham Blue SG. I honestly prefer the Epiphone version as compared to the Gibson one because it's a slightly darker hue on these. That's the thing I didn't really like about the Pelham Blue Moderns in the Gibson lineup is it was a little bit too pale of a blue. This one, it's got a little bit more of an aqua feel to it. And the knobs don't fall in like the Gibson iterations. I'm actually really liking this one, and it appears to have a bunch of fancy electronics here too. But now the big question, how's the frets? That's actually really good. You just got a little bit of buzzing in that typical area. That neck is pretty straight. I think just a little bit more relief and you'd be just fine. Definitely happy with this one. I'll just have to order 2 of them, I think. So, if you happen to be interested in this one, it does not have a home yet.
And it's currently for sale on Reverb. I'll put a link in the description. This is typically the sponsored unboxing segment, but I don't have any of those today, so we're gonna choose the winner for the Mellow audio interface. Looks like we had a fair amount of people enter into this one, but who is our lucky winner? This one goes to Ian Miller. Congratulations.
Well, that guitar kind of made a liar out of me. I promised you high-end guitars. I know these 2 are high-end. Let's try our luck with this one. It feels really heavy, like there's a case in here. So, it might be from Fender. Nice, yep, something from Fender. To be honest, oh, now I think I know what's in here. This is a guitar I was looking forward to until I started messing around with some other Floyd Roses. So hopefully this one will not be too bad, but let's see. Typical standard Fender packaging. They just put these hard foam inserts at the top. It secures the case. Oh, that's new. They have a little baggie over the case. That tells me this one's probably still factory fresh. Like, it was never even checked in at the dealer or anything. So, if I'm correct in assuming here, which usually gets proven wrong, this is a signature guitar of one of my early Guitar Heroes, due to the game Guitar Hero. I mean, he might be into a lot of politics and stuff, but I'll be honest, I don't really follow that side of his work. All I know is he is the reason why I bought my first guitar pedal. Oh man, I might have spoiled a different unboxing. This might be something else. This is the game where Trogly incorrectly guesses what he's unboxing every single time. Which one is it? No, I was right. Good, good. Okay, so this is the Tom Morello Soul Power Stratocaster. So as I was saying, he was a huge influence early on in my life. I mean, he's the reason why I bought my first whammy pedal on eBay. It was kind of a bad experience because the first one I bought was defective. It didn't work, but that was before I knew that you could return things on eBay. So I just kind of let that seller get away with it, and I eventually bought another one a couple of years later. Now currently I don't use too many pedals. I just have one. I think it's called like a Red Rocks. It just came highly recommended from the Andertons channel. So that's what I use for all my like distorted type tones for overdrive. But yeah, first impression here, it just looks so plain and naked without the soul power on it. It needs to have soul power. Let's take a look at that, because I don't think anybody's showed it. Because it's my understanding it's supposed to be like a little decal. Now it's not in there, and it's not here. Where's my soul power? I will have to talk to Fender about this, because apparently they forgot the best part about this guitar. Honestly, I think they should have just put it underneath the finish. And now the one from Sweetwater. I haven't purchased a guitar from these guys, I think since that Slash double neck. And talking to a couple of people that work at the Gibson place, apparently that one got sent back to Gibson for repair and was supposed to be sent back to Sweetwater. So it's kind of fun to follow this story of that double neck. I don't know how it made it out of the factory that way, but it did. Let's see, what kind of candy did I get? No Laffy Taffies, but a couple of bit of honeys, that's all right. Smarties, the kids like that. And Tootsie Rolls, okay. Only one Atomic Fireball. But I think you guys will be enjoying this guitar, because last year I missed out on an anniversary model. That doesn't mean that I won't do it in the future. I just might have to pick one up on the used market or something. Looking forward to opening this thing if I can get it out of the box. I feel like this thing needs a little bit more packaging though. It's kind of bumping around a lot. Hopefully it's okay. I get a lot of people saying you need to wear gloves. I appreciate your guys' concern, but the virus is only supposed to live on cardboard for about 24 hours. I've had these guitars literally for 2 weeks just sitting, so anything that's on here has been killed off. And I'm always conscious not to touch my face or anything, and I wash my hands thoroughly after handling these guitars, so we're all good here. Thankfully, nobody in my family has, you know, felt sick or anything, but we're usually self-quarantined anyways. Interesting. Do you guys see this? Usually these Lifton cases don't have this nice shiny lacquer to it. I wonder if that means they've switched productions or if they've just changed things up. Wow. I think you guys know, if there is a beautiful Lifton case up here, that there's gonna be something really nice. So this is a version that has a clasp in all locations. Is there one back here? Nope, just one on the back, and then one traditional latch that locks. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. Huh. Okay, so first glance, not in love with it. But let's get this thing up and in the light. Nice. So I really wanted to do a monster top version of one of these, but this is the 60th anniversary RO. So it's the 60th anniversary of the 1960 Les Paul. And this one is version 1, I think. So that means it's pretty much a 1959 spec'd out 60s. And I forget what the color's called, but I chose this one because look at the top on it. It's kind of like a very, very, very wide flame top. In the photos, it almost looks slightly quilty. But you can definitely tell this has that vintage original spec finish to it. As it's not like super highly buffed and glossed. It kind of feels like an old worn-in guitar. But yet it still smells brand new. So our headstock looking pretty cool here. Looks like it got a few scratches. Nothing too crazy. But oh, wow. I don't know. Do I like this or do I not? What is going on back here? Like, I really enjoy this dark mahogany color, but I've never seen this wood grain pattern before. It almost looks like a cheap veneer. But you know, now that I think about it, maybe that's just kind of what the older ones look like. That's interesting. This almost feels like it has a satin finish. This is the first time I've bought a brand new vintage original spec, but the reason why I went with this one is they're actually numbering these in order, and this was the 43rd one made. So I thought that made it special enough somebody will pay me a slight premium to have one of the first 50, 60th anniversaries. And hey, I get to review a really cool looking guitar. So if I'm honest, not blown away by first impressions, but it definitely appears to be a nice guitar. But at $6,500, I guess I was looking for a little bit more of a shock factor, but I like its serial number, and it does have a nice top.
I guess I'm just not a VOS type of guy.
And our last guitar to unbox on this beautiful Sunday. I think I know what's in here now after talking about the Morello Stratocaster. And I'm not necessarily looking forward to this guitar, but I feel left out. Everybody's tried one except for me. But after looking at this invoice, nope, it's not that guitar. I guess I'm not even sure if that one's shipped yet. This is something I am looking forward to. Another Gibson. Gibson didn't have the strongest showing at NAMM this year, but there were a few models that I thought would be worth checking out. And this is a model I criticized heavily in my NAMM coverage because they got like all the specs wrong. But the more and more I saw these things, the more I realized it was just hard to see what I needed to see in the NAMM footage. That's why I kind of need to go to the NAMM show, but you know, I'm not even sure if there's gonna be NAMM shows for another year or two. Let's go ahead and see what is in this one. Kind of a very large box. Well, here goes nothing. This should pretty much tell you everything that you need to know. Uh-oh, looks like one of our latches was undone already. Gotta say, I don't like the new Flying V style cases. The old ones just had a little bit more of a shapely appeal to them. This looks like a cheap Epiphone case now. But in here, the classic white 70s Flying V. So while they might not have gotten everything right, like the headstock shape, it's a shame that they didn't do the correct 70s style shape. But what makes this 70s in construction is the way that they set the neck into the body. You see how it like sticks up way more than a regular style Flying V right there? That is what makes a 70s Flying V so very, very interesting. And I've always loved this era of Flying Vs because for whatever reason, they are just fantastic. So once I realized that that is the main spec that they're calling 70s, it made me really interested in trying this. I'm not going to do the Explorer, but I thought I would do this one. So we'll have to see if this is as good as a 70s one. I'm kind of seeing kind of a flaw right here where there's like a chip out of the wood and they just filled it over. I don't know how I feel about that after spending $2 grand on a guitar. I might get this one replaced, we'll have to see. But everything else seems to be looking pretty good here for the most part. I think it would have been really cool had they had introduced a 70s case for these, because they used to have their compartment right here. It would lift up on a lid and then you'd have all that space versus just this.
First up on our packing list is this little tiny part. Just in case you're not familiar with what this thing is, it was invented by a guy named Rendell Wall under Gibson's name, and they actually made them themselves. They were not Schaller made like all their other parts at this era. So they have the Gibson branding here and made in USA. So it's got these little fine tuners, and well, yes, they look pretty cool, I think. I've never been a big fan of actually using them. It's more of an aesthetic thing for me, but yes, it is very similar to like the Floyd Rose type adjustments, except for these things just feel so much better. But then again, maybe I've just never had a really high-end Floyd Rose that feels good to use their fine tuners. But the person who purchased this is putting this on his Les Paul Artisan that he had just purchased because, you know, what's cooler than an Artisan with a TP6 tailpiece?
I hope you troglodytes enjoyed getting to unbox 4 brand new guitars with me today, and this brings some joy to your day. And we will catch you tomorrow on the next episode. Take care.